and creator behind CarolJo's. There we go. I do all kinds of things here. We do lives that are chats, and those are where you can ask questions about jewelry making, running a small business, that type of thing. The second thing that we do is we do tutorials. It's where we teach you step by step how to create jewelry. Third thing we do is makers meetups, and that is where we can all join the live and see what you've been working on. It doesn't even have to be jewelry, just whatever you would like. The last one are our live events, and that is where you can claim items that we have up for grabs and add them to your bead collection. So lots of different things. Today we have a tutorial. We are making what I am going to call the floating bracelet. And the reason why is that you have a bead that is just floating there in between. So you can use any style of bead that you want. You can use a large one, you can use small ones, you can use glass, you can use porcelain, you can do acrylic, you can do gemstone, naturals, any kind you want, any size. Because the bracelet, if you noticed, I'll show you here, it does have an extender on it. So it allows you to use whatever size bracelet or whatever size bead you want, and you can put it on the bracelet like so. All right. I forgot to say, we got over 10 shares here on TikTok. Now let's get to that 10,000 likes, and we will do giveaways today. What you're going to need for supplies are some sort of a bead. We are going to need the bracelet finding here. It is the chain along with the lobster claw clasp, and it has the extender. It does have jump rings here on the outside of it. I'm trying to go back. I want you guys to see the detail here. I'll bring it up here and then over here because we're live on 2. And so that you can put everything together. You'll need beads, like I said before, and I'm using 20 gauge wire. So that's what you need for supplies. These bracelets, I will let you know, tomorrow night's event, they will be up for grabs. Tools. You're going to need a round nose plier, chain nose plier, and a flush cutter. Those are the tools. That's all you need to make this. This bracelet is very easy to make. And so I am going to show you. I'm going to do 2 of them. We might not be on for a full hour today, just to let you know, because this is a very, very easy one to do. And I'm trying to get my backup account to show me, but it isn't. It's saying I'm not live. I'm going to share here. I'm going to add it to my story. I get my story, I just don't get my live. I wonder, there we go. I had to go in through my stories maybe. It's slowly going. Hey, Ashley. It's not letting me. I might not see comments while it's down is what that means, everybody. But before we go down, we are going to grab some beads from behind me. Or, oh, it flashed and I thought, okay, I'm going. Nope, not at all. Let me see if I search for me. It doesn't even say I'm live on my backup account. Well, geez, TikTok. I'm going to go see if there's an update. Hello. See if that will help us. Hi, Kay. Hey, Trisha. Yeah. Guess what? There's an update, everybody. We're going to let that run right now. All right. I'm like, let me see what we have in our bead soup. I'm going to see what we have in here. See if there's a bead that I'm just like, yep, that's the single bead that I want. I am not seeing one. Ooh, I do. I want to do a glass pearl. Just a simple glass pearl. That one is an 8mm size bead if I'm looking at it right. Okay. Yep, that one's an 8mm glass pearl. Perfect. We could do a 10 also. I just only have this one in there. All right, I'm going to point you all down. And like I said, I am not going to be able to see comments because the backup account is updating. So here we go. I'm going to put you down. And I'm going to put you guys down. All right. This is a small bead, so I'm not going to need a lot of the 20mm. Why am I saying millimeter? The 20 gauge wire. I am going to grab a ruler and tell you how much I'm cutting off. I'm going to cut off a 3.5 inch piece, and that's going to be plenty. We are going to not put the bead on yet. We're going to grab our round nose plier. And if you notice, I have a line there. I'm going to go part of the way down, bend it over 90 degrees away from me, reposition my tool so that it is 45 degrees within that 90 degree. Bring this around over the top, reposition my tool, and then finish up my circle or my loop. So there's that. We're going to open this up and add it to the chain, close it up. There we go. We're going to grab these. As I say, my update didn't even allow me to be able to go to my live. All right, so there we go. We just wrap that around the wire. We're going to cut this off. If he's a little pokey, you can just grab your pliers and poke it down. There we go. We're going to take our bead. We are making what I'm calling a floating bracelet. We're going to have one bead on this bracelet. It's an antique white size 8mm bead. Sheesh. All right. Now, normally when we get to this part, I say line it up with our line right there. But I didn't want a whole bunch of the wrap, which will leave us with the metal instead of putting the focus here. So you're just going to, at the very end here, do the 90 degree bend and then move it down to where your line is at and then put that 45 in there. And that just keeps the distance between the bead and your loop a little smaller. And that's what I would like to do. I know it's just frustrating. At least we're going to have the replay. And hopefully this gets corrected before the end, before tonight. Then we're going to put that on. We are going to close that up. We're going to grab our chain nose pliers. I think it's going to be pretty too. And we're going to wrap that around and then cut this off. And there's the bracelet. I did this the other night. Well, nope, I'm gonna have to open it. It was a different size the other night, and I could just slip it on. I'm just gonna do this like that. That is what this one will look like. I'm gonna see if I can get it on. Yeah, I can. Okay, so we have an 8mm bead, and you see how on my wrist, I've got it here on the smallest one, and it's fitting my wrist. Hi, Zuli, really well. And that's what I'm calling the floating, because it's just sitting there floating on the chain. I'm going to grab the other one. And I'm going to show you what that one looks like with a larger bead. And so that you understand with who you're making it for, what their wrist size does to make a difference on your bead that you're using. So I'm going to put this one on for a second. And then that one's there. But do you see how here, this one hangs with a lot of room here and this one doesn't? So it makes a difference how big your diameter of your bracelet will be based on the size of bead you're using. But see how you can just stack these? I can wear both of these together. There's nothing saying I can't do it. I wouldn't do them with my t-shirt that I have on. Hi, Cassie. I'm going to try taking them off. Maybe, there we go. Ooh, Zuli said they're also fun to make with the adjustable slider stainless steel bracelets. Yeah, and so just having the right finding, that's what I'm going to let. My husband is funny. Oh, it's Abby. That's right. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. My husband sent Buttercup a text saying, "Is Oma live?" I'm like, yeah, because I'm using the phone. Oh, so there it is. I'm going to text him really quick. So that's how you can tell from the difference between the two. There we go. I'm just laughing. I'm going to come up for a moment. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments. Oh, you don't have an update. I had an update and it's still not letting me in. Okay, we're going to grab a bigger bead. And it doesn't have to, when I say bigger bead, you do not have to have one that's this long. You could have a round one that is like a 12 millimeter. You could have a 10 millimeter, you know, bigger than this 8. But I'm really loving the 8. I might be keeping it. I literally like it. But I'm going to see what I have for beads. I'm going to use one behind me. The one that we just did, I got it out of the bead soup. But let's go to, I'm going to do black because those are all neutral colors in the lighter shades. Let me see what I can find for a black bead. Like here, I'm going to show you this one. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. I'm going to look and see. We have one of those that is the black with the frosted edges. Ooh, someone says teal. Okay, because I think that would be cool. So that's what I want you to think about, is just any one random bead that you have left. Let me go look at teal. See what I can find. That's dark greens. No teal. You could even do something like one of these. I'm going to show you different ones. Like this style bead. The holes are right here, so it would go this way on there. I know this one isn't teal, but you guys need to let me know. What about that one? It's a little bit larger. Bye, Abby. We have that option. Let's see what else we have. Oh, yep. It would. We could even do this glass bead. Hey, it matches my shirt. I'm like, okay, what else do we have? Yeah, it matches. Excuse me, sorry. If you wanted, look at this one. I'm going to show you this from the aspect of that you could do this one as a single bead. Thank you. So you can, that would just like stand out, that single bead. I'm going back to the one that matches my shirt. That's where I think I'm headed. Sorry, I know you said teal, but I'm liking this one. Thank you. And these beads are all a little bit different. I'm going to show you here. The swirls on them are all a little bit different. So I think I'm going to go with this one of the three. Just because it matches. All right. Yep. And that's what I'm going to do. And let me see. Where did I get those? I think. Nope. I don't buy from there anymore. Okay. I'm going to point you guys down and we're going to show you how you do it. Hi, Mallory. Super simple, easy bracelet. I just have to get my bracelet. All right, here we go. All right. Once again, we are going to grab our wire. I'm going to cut off about 3.5 inches. I know it's going to be on the longer side, but I'd rather be long than short. We're on the one side. We are going to grab our round nose pliers, and you see where I have a mark in there? That mark is really truly so that I can keep my loops consistently the same on both sides. So go ahead and do 90 degrees away. Reposition that tool 45 degrees within that. Bring this over the top. You're going to get to a point when you get on the back side here where you can't do it anymore. If you go right here, go along and move this to the top, complete your loop. So there is our completed loop. We are going to open this up. We're going to grab the bracelet. There is a jump ring on the open side of the bracelet. Put this in there, slide it down to your hole or your loop, and then close it up. Hold it down and then wrap around your wire. I'm just going to do one loop around. That way I'm not getting 2 or 3 loops and having a lot of the silver there. I want my bead to be the focal, not my wire wrapping. So we're going to put the bead on. We're going to grab our pliers. Now, we usually, when we have that mark there, I go in and I say, line up your mark at this point. If I do that with where I am at down here, I'm going to do more than the one loop. I want to be down towards the end more so that I only do one loop. So push the bead down, put your plier on, and if you see, it's just barely on there. I'm trying to get that to focus. It's hard to focus at this angle. And then go 90 degrees away from you. Reposition your tool on the line now so that our loop is the right size circle. And then I am 90 degrees within that, I'm 45 degrees within the 90 degrees is what I'm trying to say. Bring this around. You'll get to the point where you can't make your full loop. You'll release the pliers and move that bottom to the top and then create the rest of your circle. Open up that circle loop. Grab your other jump ring on this end here and put that on. Then close this down. Grab your plier. He was on, the reason why I was moving it there is when I closed it, my wire got on my loop circle and I didn't want it there. So I just went, whoop, and then grab a hold and just go one time around. You'll get to a point where you have to come back through here and grab it to finish it up. And we're right on our bead. Cut this off. We have this much extra. So you could go a little bit smaller on that if you want, but there you have it. Sometimes you will look at it and your circles are not the same. My other ones, my circles all came out so that they were even. But if you notice, he's a little bent up and a little bit forward, and this one is bent backwards. Grab 2 of your pliers that are the chainmail and just move them so that they get even with each other. So there you go. You can see it there. So that is all it takes to make the bracelet. It is a 20 gauge wire, Zuli, is what I'm using. You could use smaller, but I wanted to make sure that my bead is going to stay there and not bend around. All right, I'm going to put this down on my wrist. I just put my wrist down on the table, showing you guys how I put these on. Open up my lobster claw clasp on the smallest size, and there we go. He's done. And he matches my shirt. I'm going to bring it up so you guys can see. You're welcome. Yep, and that's what this is about. It isn't going to be something that's going to take you forever to make, but it's something simple that you can just put on. He's big. My wrist is really small, everybody, and that's when we have these style of bracelets. Sometimes they're too big for me. This one fits the best because I used a littler bead. Thank you, Eileen, for the follow. So, yep. Yep, it is. It's just cool. I love it. I'm still going to wear it. He may be turning around on my wrist, but I'm going to wear him because I'm thinking I will grab some of my other bracelets that I can wear with this, and then it'll start. Yeah, if you have the chain, you can make it completely by yourself. But if you want to have it already pre-done, I will have these tomorrow night, 7 p.m. here on TikTok only. Sorry, YouTube. And they'll be up. I have no idea what the value is yet. But yep, that is it. That's simple. Yep, this is just, I was going to say, one thing, eye pins, yes. Someone accidentally used the wrong word over here and we're all going to giggle about it. It's called autocorrect. At first I'm like, I don't get it. But when you're doing this style of bracelet, you know, we always talk about the one-step looper. And I'm not a fan of the one-step looper for this style. It's on your wrist. If it's a heavier bead, and these glass beads, this style is heavier, it could open up that loop because you don't secure it around the wire. Just that one loop around the wire secures it so it's not going to open. And that is why I did the technique that I did. I wanted to tell you that, and I almost forgot. So I'm grateful that Zuli said something about that. And I know some of us have a hard time with making these style of loops, but with this style of bracelet, you do want to try to get that around. This one here, where we have a very lightweight bead, it's not, the chances of it opening are going to be a little bit less, but you got to remember, this is going to be on your wrist. And if you guys watch your bracelets throughout the day, my bracelets move. They will jump over each other. They won't be in the same order. I'll look down and I'm like, well, you're in the wrong order. Put it back. And then you're like, well, you're back in the wrong order. You know, it just goes like that throughout the day. And so that's the one thing I will say about these is that you want to use ones that are lightweight if you are going to use the one-step looper, but I'm going to suggest not to use that and use one that gives you that loop around for the security of it being on there. And I think that's what you were trying to, like, eyeliner say. Her word got changed to eyeliner. Well, that's great, Meg. So that is what I was going to teach. It is a very simple one, but yet I think it's very, very cool, unique, and I want to go put my stack on. I didn't put any jewelry on today, so now I got to go do that. Oh, no way, Jade. That's cool. Aw. I was going to say, I wear the one that you made that I got from you from one of your pop-up events a lot. And she's over here, so I'm pointing over here. Ashley made one like it. And so I stack those, one I have, and then one that you I got from you, and one that I got from Ashley. I stacked those a lot. Aw. So, yep, so that's it, everybody. And I know I'm going to say TikTok has not been our friend today. It wasn't letting us do a lot of different things. So with that being said, I will say it again tonight when we are live again. This will be on the replay. I will get it out there and have it up as soon as possible so that if you guys want to see this one again, and I think with the way we did this one, you might be able to see me do those loops. If you didn't, there is a video titled Dangle Earrings. It does that same technique, but it is looking from down like you're going to do it. And so with that angle, it might help you with what you're doing. So I would suggest either watching both one or both of those videos to be able to do that loop. And like I said, I know some people have a hard time with it, but once you master it, it is one of the most secure things that you can do for your jewelry. So that's what I wanted to say about that. I don't think there was anything else I forgot to tell you guys. Oh, yes, there is. It's not going to be a small one like this. It's going to be a bigger one. But we are going to have 20 gauge wire tomorrow night in silver. You struggle. I know a lot of people do struggle with it. And when I would teach it in the in-person class, it was always very difficult to do that. So, yep, I have a whole, because I had gotten wire before we did the pallet order. And guess what? We got more wire. So we have a lot of wire. And I will tell you guys that purple wire that we were using the other day to make the earrings, this one, I said I would double check. This is 16 gauge wire. That is, I think it was 20 or 22 gauge. So the purple will not be as thick as this unless I have some other larger one in a different box. But in that box, I had that as like either 20 or 22 gauge. I remember it is 0.8. Now you guys need to let me know. What gauge is 0.8? Is that 22? Why am I questioning it? The aluminum, when will I be doing the aluminum? I will be doing the aluminum not this week. I just do not have time this week to get it ready. And I don't know that next week I will have time either. So it might be the week after that. Sorry it's so far out, but I need to get it on the spools for you guys. And I'm going to have to order more spools because I know I don't have enough. We've got, and I cannot remember the gauges of each thing. We've got black, dark brown, and that's not the color. Yep. And we've got the purple, we have a pink, and we have a green that I found so far. Plus, I have different gauges of wire in silver, gold, and bronze, and black. Like, it was black. So, yes. So, we're going to have some fun with wire. And you guys know I do not wire wrap very well. But we're going to get this. We're going to keep trying. We will keep trying. I'm going to put the beads back. I got to work on doing that. And hi, Joya. I did send out to everybody that had items from yesterday's events your new way that we're going to do this, emails. Thank you. So I've gotten feedback from one person so far and they like it. So you guys, if you got your emails and you have any feedback you want to give me, please let me know. The one thing that I didn't do with everybody, okay. Thank you for your that. All right, I got a couple more. Okay. And so, yep, yours is all taken care of. I know Jade's got hers, and I am going to put those in tomorrow's mail, just to let you know. Anything that was done today will be in tomorrow's mail. Just for some people, and this is what I'm going to say, some people, if you had a little in your basket, I had to test that out. I didn't think about that at all until I went to do one last night. And then I'm like, okay, I'm too tired to think this through. So I brought it and did it today. And so some of you, if you had just a few, I figured out how to get them in there. But if you had a larger one, that meant that I need to go through it and get it all out there for you. So just give me some time on that. I will get it done. I think it will be easier for everyone too, Jade. You don't have to go back into the electronic communication and then make sure, did I get the right line? Nope, you do not, Zuli. So what's going to happen now is that I will send you one line in your electronic communication. And then from there, you just, and it will take you to each live event that you have and everything that you have in there. And on the right side, it will list in words what you had. And down below will be pictures of everything you have. A virtual basket. Yep, that's what it is. Yes, it did, Danelle. And I didn't get yours done today because I was working on that one last night, getting things set up for this. And then I got to where if you had something and I'm like, okay, I got to go to bed. So yours will go out tomorrow. And what I'm going to do is I can go in, I believe, and add those in. So we'll get it taken care of. And at that point, I think it will, I'm just going to say, it'll take you over for free shipping. And so then I might owe you something back, okay? Yeah, and that's what I liked about this new way is that you guys will be able to see what you've claimed. And it's just one entry, but it lists out what everything is. I'm not sure yet because I haven't went and packaged one what your packing slips will look like. But I will see when I go to pack those tonight. So, and I know there was a few of you that took care of your virtual. I love that virtual basket. Took care of it and it looked, yep. And so those will, I will do those tonight and see what that looks like. I'll try to have one done before the live, but there's no guarantee because I still got to get tonight's live ready. All right, I'm going to end a little bit early. All right. And I have to tell you, with this new process, remember how I said I had like 20 some of these down on my, oh, I gotcha, down on my floor? By the new process, because I said I wanted to do it right away so I could get these out of here, I got 8 of them back on the shelf yet today. As soon as I was done getting all of your virtual baskets, I love those words, thank you, Nordic Luna. When we got those done, I could just go put them back downstairs. It's so much easier. Everything is accurate for the counts, because we were double checking that. Anybody who is thinking about different AIs, as long as you're not needing pictures done, I highly recommend Claude. Way better than ChatGPT. Way better. I did use them a lot today for what we did. So I was getting, because you can buy different levels of it. And I got to the level that I'm on. I almost was out of, you can only do a certain amount in a 5-hour period. And then you have to either not do anything for a while, or you have to go to the next up plan. I don't want to go to the next up plan. So we're going to have to see how this works with that. And if there's ways that we can make sure we're staying within our limits. I never got there with ChatGPT, but ChatGPT does not connect to my back end. So I literally take this spreadsheet, put your name in there, put what you got for quantities for the item. I get it into Claude, and then what happens is that it will create a product for your guys' virtual baskets. And if I have two events in there, it gives me both of them. And it will also then go in and it updates the quantities. And then third, it generates the email. And it does take like 2 minutes to get that all calculated and back out. But what I'm doing while it's calculating, I went on to the next person and started creating their spreadsheet. I found ways to make this like, woohoo! Yep. So when you think about all of that work, it is a value of 20 for the plan I am on, Zuli. And ChatGPT was the same. It was 20 a month for the plan I was on for that. You can have a 0 value one, but it limits how much, like what I wanted to do, it won't do with the 0, because that was a lot. I mean, when you think about how much it had to think about, because I go into the spreadsheet, this is one thing that we talked about last night. I put into the spreadsheet, if you got 2 of it, it will take and do the math and multiply it by the quantity, and then it gives me a total value for the for that virtual basket for that event. So it's doing math on top of looking at the items, and it's also double checking. Like if it cannot find an item because I put in the SKU wrong, it will tell me, hey, the SKU is wrong. What do you want me to do? It doesn't just go with whatever it thinks it should. It waits for me to answer. And I love that about it. It is a lot smarter. All right, we got there. I was hoping we'd get there. Okay, I got to go grab a thing. I asked him if I could call him a different name for Claude, and he goes, that's my name. Whereas like ChatGPT, you can call it a different name. But yeah, he wants to be called Claude. Whoops. What the heck? They did an update and now I can't get to that feature because I need to go live for 30 minutes, which is checked, and I need to go live for 3 separate days. which I've already done. Okay, so I'm going to have to watch. That just stinks. Okay. All right. Whoops, I can't do it there. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to grab my thing and I'll write it down so that you guys know I didn't make up the word when I show it. Darn thing. It is. Okay, everybody, go ahead and start putting a one-word color in the chat. I keep wanting to write it in there, but I can't show it to you because then you guys would know what my word is. I love that. All right. I have no idea how long we've been doing it, but I'm going to give you guys a clue. It's something you can eat. Your heart is not black. I have to keep going back because it keeps flying. This is in the fruit or vegetable area. It's in the produce section of the grocery store. All right, Jade got it. It's eggplant. Jade is the winner. Today is the 16th. So it really was eggplant. Yep, you got it. Wasn't it you? Yep, you did eggplant. Yep, you won it. So congratulations. Whoops, I don't need to end it because we never started it. Ay, ay, ay. We're going to go and just like kick its butt. So that one is yours, Miss Jade. Congratulations. I'm going to hop off and get done for our next live. We will be on at 3:30 on the other app with beads. Okay? So bye, everybody.